Hi everyone, this is the third section of 8th century BC prophets. In this session, we are going to study the social, political, and economic situation in time of Micah and Isaiah. Micah and Isaiah are contemporaries. They are almost the same period that they worked together. They prophesied together. According to Micah chapter 1 verse 1, he prophesied in the time of South Judah, actually Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, and according to chapter 1 verse 1 of Isaiah, Isaiah prophesied Uzziah. He was prophesying in time of the Judean king, the king of Judah, Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, almost the same time. So which they are 40 and 50 years later than Amos. But the international political situation is quite different. In the time of Amos, actually Assyria was did not advance to Palestine area, but in the time of Micah and Isaiah, this Assyrian king actually started conquering the neighboring countries, and then there was the strongest empire at the time, especially BC 744 through 727, Tiglath-Pileser III, actually to extend the territory, actually he invaded coastal plain of Israel in 734. And so actually he in this time actually he devastated Damascus in 732, and then conquered Galilee and Transjordan. Whoa. And then put Hoshea as the king of Israel. And then after that, after Tiglath-Pileser III, then Shalmaneser V became king, and he attacked Samaria 725 to 722. And then Sargon II, after him actually, he completed the conquer of Samaria. And then Sargon II actually deported people of Israel to Assyria and Babylon area, so that he can prevent the revolt of Israel. And then, in time of Sennacherib, an Assyrian king, actually, when he began his reign, actually, in Judah, South Judah, King Hezekiah was in reign, actually. And then Hezekiah was against Sennacherib because he underestimated the power of Sennacherib. And then he made an alliance with some neighboring countries, and then made a decision not to pay tribute. That's why this caused Sennacherib to attack Jerusalem. But actually, Prophet Isaiah prophesied to King Hezekiah it was a foolish thing to do that, actually. And then Sennacherib attack of Jerusalem in 701 BC was lethal, really. And then King Sennacherib conquered Syria, Phoenicia, and plain of Sharon. It's like near Palestine, Gaza Strip, near there. And and many cities in Joppa and coastal area of Palestine. Yeah, so in the time of Micah and Isaiah, Assyria actually exercises political power and conquered and invaded many countries and then conquered them. So that's why already now Northern Kingdom was actually destroyed, and then even South Kingdom, Judah also was in dangerous situation. And then because of due to the political and diplomatic situation, so Northern Kingdom was economic situation is really bad, and then they had to tribute, all the time to Assyria. But the King Hezekiah, as I earlier mentioned, actually made a decision not to pay tribute, and then he tried political independence. That's why he made a political alliance with Merodach-Baladan, Babylonian king, and also asked Egyptian help, but actually which are very weak relatively to Assyria. So the due to the political and diplomatic situation, the Northern Kingdom, Israel, actually there was no economic boom, of course, and the economic collapse already. But still, some rich people actually pursue wealth, and then they still continue to accumulate the land and houses. By doing this, actually they try to get richer and richer. That's why actually, as I mentioned in the time in previous session, so even the almost the same situation as Amos time, it happened. Okay, let us read once again. Let's go back to Micah chapter 2 verses 1 and 2. Micah chapter 2 verses 1 and 2. Woe to those who plan iniquity, to those who plot evil on their path. And morning's light they carried out because it is in their power to do it. They covet fields and seize them, and houses and take them. They defraud people of their homes. They rob them of their inheritance. Yes. This was the situation. The rich people always plot evil against the poor people so that they can take the houses and the land illegally. Why illegally? Because actually, according to the law of Jubilee, actually they should actually return the land and houses in the year of Jubilee. But actually, they did not do that. They never did that. And though even in the 7th year, they had to set the slaves free, but they never set the slaves free. Yeah, this is what happened. Micah chapter 6 verses 10 through 12. Let us go. Micah chapter 6 verses 10 through 12. Am I still to forget your ill-gotten treasures, you wicked house, and the short ephah which is accursed? Should I acquit someone with dishonest scales, with a bag of false weights. Your rich people are violent, your inhabitants are liars, and their tongues speak deceitfully. Always the rich people, deceive the poor people, and then they together to, to accumulate wealth. It's an ill-gotten gain. So, and then they use dishonest weight. They cheat, they deceive people in their business, in selling. Yeah. That's why verse 12, you rich people are violent, your inhabitants are liars, and their tongues speak deceitfully. They are like, they are violent, means like they are like thieves, they are like villain. Yeah. That's why verse 13, therefore I have begun to destroy you, to ruin you because of your sins. That's why God used Micah to prophesy against the rich people. So you will be judged, you will be destroyed, you will be ruined. One more verse, let's go to chapter 3 verses 1 to 3. Chapter 3 verses 1 to 3. Chapter 3, Micah, chapter 3 verses 1 to 3. And then I said, listen, you leaders of Jacob, you rulers of Israel, should you not embrace justice? You who hate good and love evil, who tear the skin from my people and the flesh from their bones, who eat my people's flesh, strip off their skin and break their bones in pieces, who chop them up like meat for the pan, like flesh for the pot. You see, always the rich people, crush the poor people, it's like, how can I say, it's like the literature of Micah, his prophecy is really beautiful in terms of literature. Actually, he, described very well about the oppression of the rich people for the poor people. Yeah. He strip off their skin and break the bones in pieces. Whoa, eat my people's flesh. Oof. And then tear the skin from my people and the flesh from their bones. Whoa. Yeah. According to chapter 7, verse 2, 26. See, chapter 7 verses 2 through 6, the faithful have been swept from the land, not one upright person remains. Everyone lies in wait to shed blood. They hunt each other with nets. Both hands are skilled in doing evil. The rulers demands gifts, the judge accepts bribe. The powerful dictate what they desire. They all conspire together. The best of them is like a briar, the most upright worse than a thorn hedge. The day God visit you has come. The day your watchmen sound the alarm. Now is the time of your confusion. Do not trust a neighbor. Put no confidence in a friend. Even with a woman who lies in your embrace, guard the words of your lips. For a son dishonors his father. A daughter rises up against her mother. A daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the members of his own household. But as for me, I watch in my, So all the people are totally corrupt, right? That's why the day of the Lord will be coming to punish these people. Yeah. All the people, you see, rulers, judge, the powerful. The powerful means like the political elite, right? This is the society of Israel, northern Israel in time of Moses. Total corruption. There is like judicial system was totally collapsed. Everything. There's no righteousness and justice at the time. And then even in religious sector, it is totally corrupted. Chapter 3, verse 11. Chapter 3, verse 11. Her leaders judge for a bribe, her priests teach for a price, and her prophets tell fortunes for money. Yet they look for the Lord's support and say, is not the Lord among us? No disaster will come upon us. Wow, these religious leaders. Who are the religious leaders? Priest, high priest, Levites. See, even prophets. There are a lot of prophets actually in the time of in the history of Israel. There are so many prophets. Yeah, they prophesy for money, not for the will of God, not to speak the will of God to the people, not to speak the judgment of God upon people, but they speak for money. And even they said, oh, the Lord Adonai God is with us, still with us. That is the characteristics of false prophets, they say. They are against the will of God. They still say, okay, the Lord Adonai God is with us, they say. And then disaster will not come upon us. These are actually the true prophets prophesied again about the day of the Lord. What is the day of the Lord? The day of the Lord is the day of the day of judgment upon the wicked people, the rich people who are against the will of God, who oppress the poor people. Yeah, it is the day of the Lord is the judgment upon them. Judgment for them, and then the salvation for the people of the poor. Poor people in the Old Testament actually means righteous people, those who trust God. Yeah. The false prophets prophesy like this: that the Lord is with us. Okay, He will not pour out His anger. He will not destroy us. Say it like that. They make people peaceful, comforted. Yeah. This is the situation. Though political and social situation is quite different from the time of Amos. Basically, at the time of Micah and Isaiah, the rich people, rich people oppressing the poor people, and then they accumulate their wealth, the land and houses, and continue to live luxuriously, and then continue to oppress, crush the poor people, and then continue to practice injustice and unrighteousness. That is the same common factors. So that's why God used Isaiah and Micah to prophesy against these people, and then the judgment upon these people will be coming soon. Yeah, this is the background of the time of Micah and Isaiah. So in our next session, we are going to study Marzeach. Was very this is the secret illicit club, or alliance. So I'll explain this in our next section, which implies the time of Amos, time of Isaiah and Micah. Thank you.